SummerSlam is in the books, and now the Raw after SummerSlam also in the books, and a lot has been set up. Just before we get into kind of a blow-by-blow breakdown of this whole thing, I thoroughly enjoyed this Monday Night Raw. It feels like some things are set up basically now for the rest of the year. Like, this felt like almost like the All-Star break after WrestleMania, like in this season where you go from like WrestleMania to WrestleMania. This felt like the kind of like midway reset point, and now we're working out into the fall and probably a few of these into the winter as well. I thought this was a very well set up edition of Monday Night Raw, and it starts with Ludwig Kaiser's return as he introduces the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. He comes out, cuts a bit of a promo. I love that he said, like, look, nothing's going to catch me off guard. And then Randy Orton comes out, and Gunther says, well, you caught me off guard. I thought they had a good back and forth. I think this makes sense. I think the match is going to be really, really good at or out in Berlin. I think that you are going to see one of the better Gunther matches coming out of this. I thought that the match that they had at King of the Ring was quite good until the ending. And the ending of that makes this make some sense. The one issue is that, a fairly obvious one, he is a SmackDown wrestler coming over to Monday Night Raw, and I don't like how they didn't explain that enough. They obviously explained it like, look, you didn't really beat me, did you? Like, you beat me, but did you beat me? And so I do think that there was a good explanation there. I wish there would have been a more brand split level of a breakdown where Adam Pearce comes out and says, we have a transfer agreement with Nick Aldis. Me and Nick made an agreement that Randy Orton can come over and do this, and if he wins, he stays a Raw superstar. If he loses, he has to go back over to SmackDown, and in the meantime, we have sent blah 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 over to them, or it's for a player to be named later. And that way, and honestly, when I saw this, I kind of, like, moving my brain a few steps ahead, I kind of thought, okay, this is going to be their way of explaining why Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are going to get involved with Roman Reigns in the Bloodline Civil War 2.0 that is going to take place here. And it's like, okay, Randy comes over here. We have a loan transfer agreement that he is over here for a few months. Sami and Jey are over there for a few months. And that is a story that they could still tell. I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more just to continue the legitimacy of the brand split, because that is something that the WWE has been criticized for in the past, where they haven't really stuck to this brand split. And this is a way already where you can start to see the brand split starting to crumble. So I wish there would have been just a little bit of an explanation of, oh yeah, we have a loan transfer trade thing in place with Raw and SmackDown. Then we had Sheamus against Ludwig Kaiser. This match was really fun, and these two have had some very good matches in this kind of return to Monday Night Raw for Sheamus. And so I do think that this is going to be a character that the WWE should look at a little bit more in Ludwig Kaiser. I don't think he just has to be a guy who is out here as just like an intro to Gunther. I think there's actually something there. These guys have been putting on some excellent matches. And then the Pete Dunne Sheamus storyline continues. That's a whole lot of fun. And I'm happy that it is continuing. We get a really good Wyatt 6 promo tying everything together that the Wyatts debuted in Baltimore. We're in Baltimore having our first match tonight. I thought that was some nice symmetry and something that the WWE just isn't missing on right now. Then we get the Priest promo. And one thing I talked about earlier today is that I want this character to have his edge back, and this was the perfect way to get it. He felt like a badass again. And there was some like, this is my family now, playing to the crowd and all of that, but then the message refocused, and it came back to, by the way, I hate that you are conscious, and I want to separate you from it. That was basically the gist of it. And then I thought Finn Balor, it tied back to last year when Damian Priest, they had their kind of whatever when Priest was Mr. Money in the Bank and Finn Balor was challenging for World Heavyweight Championships. And I thought it tied it together perfectly. It brings everyone together in this new Judgment Day, and they're able to move on that way. So I thought it accomplished everything that it needed to. Lyra Valkyria and Shayna Baszler, it was fun. It was just basically I didn't like how much of an afterthought Lyra became in the damage control shooters. I think we're calling them. I know the Post Wrestling calls them Stark Industries with Zoe Stark, but either way, I don't love that she was a bit of an afterthought because I do think that she is a very talented performer, and I would like the focus to be maybe a little bit more on her than say the Shayna Baszler side. But I understand the babyface heel dynamics are what they are, and we are making damage control into this new thing. Maybe Lyra spins off into a group with them as well. But I do think that there needed to be maybe a little bit more focus on Lyra, even though she was coming away as someone who was going to be the presumed victor of this particular bout. I wish that there would have been a little bit more on her. But the damage control shooters thing, I need a bit more of an explanation than you're a 3-person team and we're a 3-person team. Fuck yourself. I want a little bit more than that. And we haven't really gotten that yet. So please expand on this storyline a little bit more. What is next? Oh, Punk Rollins and Drew McIntyre as they went out. And I thought they cut a pretty good promo. And it kind of kept the fire going. It keeps this storyline going. CM Punk, again, like he is fire every time he gets the mic. All 3 of these guys don't miss. And then you spin it off after, because we had said, like, it feels like all 3 of these guys could do this dance for a while. You added another one to branch the other guy off, and that is Bronson Reed coming in and making a statement. We had planted a seed a little bit earlier that this was someone who, it is a little copy and pasty from Braun Breaker. I'm pissed off I wasn't in the King of the Ring. Well, do something better. Okay. And he just beats the hell out of everyone, and in storyline murders Ricochet. And now you have Bronson Reed. I'm pissed I wasn't in this match on Raw. Well, do something about it. Okay, well, here's 18 splashes to Seth Rollins. So it's a little bit too similar, but it hasn't lost its effect yet, because it was awesome, and it makes Bronson Reed feel like a badass immediately, and I cannot wait to see what Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins end up doing. And now Seth, after this is done, will be able to go off into a Drew CM Punk thing, and this will absolutely elevate Bronson Reed. Odyssey Jones joining the New Day. I do like, hopefully this will end any Final Testament thingy-bob that they have going on. I do like that you are continuing the Xavier Kofi, like, hey, what's going on here? Where, like, Kofi is making New Day moves and bringing in what feels like a very straight line replacement for Big E for a number of different reasons that you can all kind of figure out. This one, the one thing that I am not getting is that these guys have been friends for so long, and, like, the character of Kofi Kingston and the character of Xavier Woods, it just kind of feels like one conversation solves all of this. Like, this whole jealousy thing, it feels like if Xavier said once, hey man, you're kind of being shitty and I'd like to be included in more of these things, Kofi would be like, oh, my bad, and that you would just have it. Like, it feels like you need to either add a couple more dynamics to this, or show that Xavier has come to Kofi and Kofi was still like, no, don't worry about it, and kind of brushed him off and illegitimized his feelings. Because right now, from what we know of these characters and how close they are as characters, it just kind of feels like one in-storyline conversation would just solve every problem that they have. And so that's why I need the issues to go a little bit deeper than what they are right now. A-Town Down Under is on Raw. I like that they explained it. Like, look, they kind of ruined the Miz's moment on Saturday, or tried to, and so this is the only time that they can get payback. So there we go. And maybe there's a return match coming up on Raw, or something along those lines. But we're starting to sow some seeds of doubt in R-Truth and the Miz and the Awesome Truth. And I do think it is time for this. It has run its course. Hey, you guys are old people. No, you're actually not old people. Jokes. There are but so many times you can tell that joke, and it probably ran out 4 times ago. So I don't mind that we are looking at maybe going in a different direction with this going forward. Priest against McDonough. The intensity picks up here with the run-in and the beatdown after, and Finn and Damian Priest locking eyes, and Priest just getting those crazy eyes on him. But then eventually not being able to get his hands on him. Like, you can build this throughout the rest of the year, where it is Priest McDonough. Priest Dominic Mysterio will absolutely be a thing, and then finally the quote unquote final boss in Finn Balor at the end of it. So this will be fun, and this was a fun feud. Io against Sonya was a thing that happened, and then Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, apparently they're going to go after the tag team titles. I like that they are back together and kind of building this thing up. And again, I think that this will be able to spin into a Roman Reigns situation at some point, and we will have these guys kind of swallowed up by the bloodline once again, and that is completely fine. And I like that they are kind of building them up in the meantime here. And I would imagine maybe a Damian Priest involvement in that title match, like you cost me, I'll cost you, sort of a thing. I like that Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker is best 2 out of 3 falls next week. I think it adds a little bit of intrigue, and also like, I think Sami Zayn's character is strong enough that you can have Braun just like run through spear. It's 2 out of 3 falls in like 45 seconds. I think that'd be an interesting way of doing it. But if it's the main event, don't do it that way. But I think that would be an intriguing way of maybe building up Braun even better. He cut a promo on this show. I've kind of glanced past it. That was awesome. He has superstar written all over him, and the promo ability just adds to that level. That was it was just chef's kiss, no notes, perfection. And then our main event, American Made. Maybe they could have made a better name. Don't love it, but it is what it is. American Made against the Wyatt Six. I thought this match got it over the Wyatt Six guys with Gacy, Loomis, and Rowan. I think that they kind of tied them to the characters on commentary pretty well. And I think that this is a nice step. You didn't have weird voodoo magic going on. It was just a few guys who are going out there who feel like tortured souls. Loomis, who has grown his hair out substantially or has really worked on his extension game, and Rowan in there as well. And then Gacy, kind of a main roster debut situation for him. And I thought he did well. I thought everyone played their part absolutely perfectly. And I think that this is something that can go places. I don't ever view Bo Dallas, even as Uncle Howdy, as a world title threat in the way that Bray Wyatt was, but I do view this overall group as one that you can push into an upper mid-card, flirting with main event things at times, and given the right opponents, I think you can get something really fun out of it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So that is kind of our rundown here for Monday Night Raw following SummerSlam.